do right here is go back.
You know what I'm talking about? Put your hands up in the air right now. If you know what I'm talking about, Brooklyn's finest.
It's tough in Brooklyn. I mean, it's a lot of places that aren't tough now, but when I was coming up, it was tougher in Brooklyn. So the way you stood up for yourself wherever, you put that out there everywhere. If you were in Harlem, you screamed that you were from Brooklyn. If you were in the Bronx, I'm from Brooklyn. If you're in California, I'm from Brooklyn. It's your boy, Brooklyn's finest DJ Clark Kent. This is my neighborhood. When I was young, I was enthusiastic, I was creative, extremely curious. This is my block. The corner of Schenectady and Union was notorious for chain snatching, bag snatching, and just getting robbed or shot or stabbed, and tons of drugs was being sold and pitched on that block. If you can get to that other corner, no one got you. You never got robbed. You had to get past this block. Some people knew what time it was, so they just held their bag tighter. But then you had the people who just didn't understand it. And they were like, well, why did I get robbed? And I'm like, don't you see what's hanging out here? When you're walking past the block, like, there's like 20 little gremlins out here. They hungry, they're gonna eat. I'm not condoning anything that went on. I'm just saying, you know, when you grew up in the Reagan era, you might wanna rob somebody too. I'm from the beginning and before the beginning of hip hop, so when it was happening, I was part of it. I was seeing it before it became. There was no term hip hop when I started DJing. There was no computers, there was no internet, there was no, oh, I'm gonna look it up. You just had to go find out. This is Lincoln Terrace Park. The park is only 2 blocks away from where I lived, but this was like a totally another planet. It was a freaking war zone to come here. If you could get in and out the park successfully, you've achieved amazingness. The thing that made this park so important to me is when I was either 12 or 13, the most important DJ at that precise moment in Brooklyn was a guy named Grandmaster Flowers. I came to the park and he was out here rocking. He knew I was a young up and coming DJ and he was like, yo, do you want to get on? Now, be clear, I'm 12 or 13 and this park has about 400 or 500 people in it and he's killing it. In my heart, I was like, oh, this is my moment. So I took my moment and he let me rock for about an hour, did not ask what I wanted to play, let me play his records. And that moment was the moment I was absolutely sure that I was doing what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So rest in peace to the great Grandmaster Flowers. Thank you for changing my life. And thank you for the people of Lincoln Terrace Park for letting me get out safely, because you could definitely die coming to Lincoln Terrace Park. It's crazy how safe it seems right now. When I was growing up, it was hell coming in here. But like I said, at the jam, when the jam was happening, you could come in here and feel like you were in like one of the best places in the world. Then it would get shot up at the end. 1342 Union Street. This is the crib that I migrated to after I left home. This is where it started. I had a studio in here. I recorded Junior Mafia, Biggie songs, Jay-Z. He hung out here. We made our records here. The reason I built the actual studio was because I decided I was gonna make this guy's records. All the way in the back room was an extension on the house, and I built a studio in that room. When I got the house, it was carpeted, top to bottom. The whole room was carpeted. So if you listen to Jay-Z songs that we recorded here, everything sounded super duper tight. It just worked out by accident. I represent my city super thoroughly. My kids, they do the same. They're very, very proud to be from Brooklyn. The person that I am is the person I am from when I was a kid. I'm still the same guy who is brought up like a Panamanian, and the morals that I had when we were coming up, I still have, and I instill that into my kids. Being Panamanian and being from Crown Heights, you know, you're in the middle of the melting pot. You know, everybody has something in their neighborhood that was like extra special to us. In my neighborhood, this beef patty shop was the illest. That's when I used to live around here, and that would be more than 25 years ago, so we just gonna see if they still get busy. Are you still the original owners from like 25 years ago? Okay, then I need a beef patty, because back when I was young, I used to live around here, and this was the best. Yo, you wanna see something crazy? One of the first artists I worked with when I was at Atlantic Records was an artist named Lieutenant Stitchy. How about we walk in here? There's a Lieutenant Stitchy flyer. That's like freaking insane. It's the same, babe. Yo, it's the same.
All right.
Listen, I was coming here when I was like 9. So it's like 25 years, I come back, it's the same bakery. Y'all gonna learn today. Stay out of my hood too. I could never be removed from my old neighborhood because my mom lives in my old neighborhood. I always go check her out. The neighborhood is my neighborhood. I'm one of the very, very few guys in that neighborhood who made it out and who made something of himself that the other people in the neighborhood are proud of. I will never turn my back on it. Right here, this place was called Nizzy's. It was owned by a cat named Danny. Danny had a son named Stuart. Stuart was one of my better friends. We was homies because he was here every day. This is one of the places that we got super education. Besides it being the best burger in the neighborhood, the best fried chicken sandwich in the neighborhood, the best fish sandwiches in the neighborhood, Nizzy's was a number spot. So you got to learn how to run numbers. Totally not supposed to be doing it. Didn't give a damn. Danny didn't give a damn. I miss this shit. Yo, this is Stuart. What the fuck are you doing here?
That's not good. That's it. He must be telling him his story, his life story.
This is Stuart. Stuart's a real guy. This was actually his corner. Right. There's no question in any of that. I walked over here hyped like, this is the education of Troy Avenue.
Man, I gotta hug you again, boy.
I love seeing you,
man.
I'd like to thank you all for coming to my neighborhood, but I say you definitely check out Crown Heights because it's way multicultural. You can get good food, you see good people. Things are really different. It's a lot nicer around here. So come on through, come visit, holler at your boy, this is my neighborhood.